Hello, and welcome to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. My name is Jason Perkins. I'm an attorney who specializes in handling Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people who've been hurt at work in Georgia with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation laws and the benefits they should receive under those laws. Now, let's jump straight into today's topic. Today, I'd like to talk about, can my Georgia workers' compensation attorney stop representing me? So the simple answer to that question is yes. Your attorney can stop representing you in your Georgia workers' compensation case. There's two ways this can potentially happen. The first is where your attorney chooses to stop representing you. This is what's called a withdrawal. If this happens, your attorney should notify you that they're no longer representing you in your workers' compensation case. And then they're going to file some paperwork with the Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation as well, notifying the Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation that they're no longer your attorney in your workers' compensation case. The second way that your Georgia workers' compensation attorney can stop representing you is by you choosing to terminate their services. So you're firing them as your attorney. When this happens, you should notify your attorney that you're firing them. Then afterward, they're also going to file some paperwork with the Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation that notifies the state board that they're no longer representing you. In both these situations, they may also file something called a lien, where they're notifying the State Board of Workers' Compensation you of the value of the services they provide you up to this point. If your attorney does withdraw from your workers' compensation case, or if you choose to fire your attorney, you should receive some paperwork that your attorney files with the Georgia State Board of Workers' Compensation after that has happened. The paperwork you receive is a Form WC 108B, and it's an attorney withdrawal or lien. I've got it pulled up on the screen here. Now, as you can see in Section A, it provides a place where your attorney can notify you of their withdrawal from your case. So in this section, they can indicate that they're withdrawing from the representation of the claim, and those should also indicate if there is a review pending of your case before the appellate division of the State Board of Workers' Compensation. That would be an appeal of a decision that's been made in your case, or if there's a hearing or mediation that's scheduled in your case. If so, they'll indicate here. If no hearing or mediation are scheduled, there's no other deadline that's going to require a response, they'll mark this box here, indicating that. If there's a deadline for a response in your case, they should mark this box here that indicates when the deadline for response is. And there's also a place in this section for them to indicate whether they are waiving approval of attorney's fees in your case. If so, they would mark this box here. In Section B, there's a place your attorney to indicate if they have been terminated from the representation in your case. They would mark this box here that said they've received in writing notification that they've been terminated by you. If they withdrew, they would indicate in this box here. And then Section B also provides an opportunity that if they want to file a lien for the work that they've done in your case so far, then they can mark this box here and indicate what they think the value of their services is for the work that they've done up from when they were hired until when they withdrew or were terminated from your case. If they want to make a claim for expenses that they paid on your case during the representation, then they mark this box here, and they would indicate what expenses have been incurred. These would generally be things like obtaining medical records or other records on your case, the charges for those, if they had retained a doctor to examine you and prepare an opinion on your case, or if there have been hearing transcripts or deposition transcripts or other things that they paid for. Those would be some typical expenses. Other expenses could be included as well, but they should indicate what expenses were incurred and the amount of each one of those expenses here. And then down at the bottom, they would indicate they're certifying that the above is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, and it would have information about your attorney listed here. So, What does it mean if an attorney files a lien when they withdraw from your case or are fired by you as your attorney? A lien is a way of an attorney indicating the value of the services they provided up to this point. So they've done some work on your workers' compensation case, but generally in a Georgia workers' compensation case, someone representing an injured worker is working on what's called a contingency fee. So a lot of times that means they're paid when they get certain types of benefits for you or a settlement, they're paid a percentage of those. If those things haven't occurred yet, but they've done work on your case, then when they're fired, they're allowed to file a lien for the work that they've done up to now. And that's them indicating what they think the value of your services are. So a lien is not a bill. So it's not something that you're going to receive and you have to immediately pay. Liens do have to generally be addressed at some point in the future, and usually they are addressed at the time that your case settles, and then a decision is made about the value of your prior workers' compensation attorney services, and the lien would be paid at that point. Can you hire another workers' compensation attorney if your prior workers' compensation attorney has withdrawn or you made the decision to fire them? Yes, there's nothing under Georgia workers' compensation law that prevents you from hiring a new attorney if your prior attorney is no longer representing you. But it's important to be aware that if your prior attorney is filing a lien in your case, it can create some issues with getting a new attorney involved in your case. For this reason and others, it's important not to make an impulsive decision about changing attorneys in your workers' compensation case. I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you have, please consider two things before you go. First, I'd really appreciate if you give this video a like or a thumbs up, and consider subscribing to this channel if you'd like to be notified of future videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Second, if you've got workers' compensation questions, please reach out to get answers. I offer free consultations in Georgia workers' compensation cases. If you'd like to set one of those up, there's two easy ways you can do so. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Just click on and submit the free consultation request form there, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get a consultation scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I'd like to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.